Welcome, my wild bunch.
Chinika, we've come to hear another story. We want to hear more about that boy Fizz and his friend Martina.
Wonderful. I think you're going to like my story because today there are some very unusual things going on above Blue Falls.
Mom and Dad are so excited. They've been studying a strange outer space object for 7 years. They call it the Gold Star, and now it's getting much closer to our planet. I'm helping them read the meters and stuff. Whenever we see all 18 of our moons at once, we watch the Gold Star very carefully. My parents think that's going to happen soon.
Your parents actually let you play with this equipment?
I don't play, Fizz. I work. This is my job. Like you have a paper route job, this is my job, and they trust me. So, let's see. First, I focus in on the Gold Star. There it is. Then I type the 3-letter tracker code for my parents to use later. So that's, T. I've got an idea, Fizz. This is a big job, and I could use an assistant. How about you read the letters, and I'll type them in?
Sure. I don't know anything about outer space, but here goes. So, that's an S.
S.
A.
Got it.
T.
Okay. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. This is Fizz.
Hi, Mr. Martina?
Nice to meet you, Fizz. So, you're the one that Martina's been hanging around with. Martina, how's the first day on the job? I see you've typed in the tracker code and... Oh, can that be right? Dear, what do you think this means?
Dad, Mom, what's wrong?
I don't understand it. That gold star we've been following, it's doing something very strange. After 7 years of following the same course, it suddenly changed direction, and it's heading straight at our planet.
Oh, this is not good at all.
It's going to be here in a few seconds. There's no time to run. I think we should all stand together here under this heavy door frame.
Wow, we're okay. What should we do now?
First, we need to find out where that gold star crashed.
After a week, Martina's parents had found no trace of the Gold Star. They spent 2 days looking in town, 2 days on Blue Falls Mountain, and 2 more days in the forest. On the 7th day, they even did a helicopter search. Martina and I looked too, before school and after.
It's weird, Fizz. Something as big as the Gold Star couldn't just disappear. Morning, Butcher. Come here, boy.
Hey, leave my dog alone! He doesn't need any friends.
Butcher, if I could, I'd set you free so you could go back to the woods and get away from that mean old Trump.
It looks like he's been sneaking off on his own somehow. Look, he's a mess, all dusty.
It's the strangest dust, too. Sort of sparkly and...
Martina, are you seeing what I'm seeing? This looks like dust from the Gold Star.
We've got to set him free and find out where he's been rolling around.
We can't do that. We can't just set someone's dog loose, even if it is Trump's dog.
No, but we could wait for Butcher to escape by himself. Then we'll follow him. Let's come back at 7 o'clock. That's 4 hours from now. I'll bet Butcher waits till dark to go on his little adventures.
I hope Butcher shows us where the Gold Star landed. We'll be the only ones in Blue Falls who know about it. The only thing is, I don't know how late I can stay out.
Me neither. My parents said they might need me tonight to help them with the tracker. They think it might be one of those rare nights when all 18 moons are visible above the horizon. They've been waiting for this for a long time. If 18 moons show up, they said they would call me on this beeper so I can run home. Fizz, how do you think Butcher gets out of that collar by himself?
Yeah, and after he gets loose, why does he ever come back?
Good question. Fizz, look! Who is that person going up to Butcher? Whew, is he scary looking? Whoever it is, he's definitely doing something to poor Butcher.
He's heading right toward us.
Look, Fizz, there are 6 moons appearing from behind that cloud.
Martina, don't make a sound.
Wait, this is important. I see 6 more moons above Trump's house. I hope my beeper doesn't go off. If it beeps now, he'll notice us for sure.
Look, Martina, there over Blue Falls Mountain. 6 more moons. That makes 3 different sets of 6 moons. Oh no, is your beeper going to go off?
Fizz is hoping that Martina's beeper won't go off. And now, my wild bunches, let's find out if he has anything to worry about. So, my wild bunch, you're going to have to work together to help Fizz solve this problem. We'll begin in just a moment, but first, let me remind you that each of you has a very important job. Rabbit, I will give this drawing stick to you. When the group decides what to say or show, it will be your job to write or draw it. Bear, your job is to make sure your teammates know when they are doing something good. You could tell them, good job, or nice work. Fox, you must make sure that everyone in the group has a chance to talk and share. If one person has shared an idea, ask the others what they think. And Moose, once the group decides on an answer, your job is to check that everyone understands it and can explain it to me. Okay, my wild bunch. Let's begin. Fizz and Martina want to know how many moons they saw in the evening sky. Now, I want you to work together to draw the people and things in this moon problem.
Let's draw those 6 moons that Martina saw coming out from behind the cloud.
That's a great idea. Good job, Rabbit.
Yeah, and we should also draw the 6 moons that she saw above Trump's house.
Good idea, Moose. And Fizz also saw some moons over Blue Falls Mountain. I think he saw 6. Is that right? Hey, Rabbit, what do you think?
Bear is right. Fizz saw 6 moons. So I'll draw 3 sets of 6 moons. That's, let's see, 18 moons altogether. Does everyone agree?
I do. Me too. Now, let's check and make sure everyone can explain our answer.
Why don't you start?
Well, we drew the 6 moons that...
So, my wild bunch, it looks like you have been working together well. Bear, why don't you tell me about your team's picture?
Well, we drew 3 different sets of 6 moons. We drew 6 moons coming out from behind a cloud, 6 over Trump's house, and 6 more over Blue Falls Mountain. That makes 18 altogether.
Excellent teamwork, my friends. Now, my wild bunch, I want you to write a number sentence that shows how you found the answer to the moon problem. Sister Rabbit, tell me what you have done.
Well, first we wrote down the number of moons in each group. That's 6, 6, and 6. Then we wrote a little sign. It's a plus sign. It says that we want to add those 3 numbers together. And then under this line, we put the sum. That's the number you get when you add these 3 numbers together. So it says 6 moons plus 6 moons plus 6 more moons equals 18 moons.
Wonderful work, my wild bunch. And remember, you can also write your number sentence across, like this. Now, in a moment, I want you to pretend that I am Fizz and tell me the story of how I figured out the number of moons I saw. But first, why don't you practice with your teammates?
Let's
Yeah,
put
but
those
it's numbers.
Okay, Rabbit, why don't you share your group's answer?
Well, Fizz, first Martina saw 6 moons coming out from behind a cloud. Then she saw 6 moons over Trump's house. And then you saw 6 more moons over Blue Falls Mountain.
Very good, Rabbit. And how did you find out how many moons I saw altogether?
There were 6, and 6, and 6 more. Then I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Good for you, Rabbit. Now, did anyone solve the problem a different way?
I did. I knew that 6 plus 6 equals 12. And then I counted up 6 more. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Excellent thinking, Moose. You see, my friends, there can be many very good ways to solve the same problem. Now, Wild Bunch, pretend that I am Fizz and tell me what might happen next.
Well, I think you will be scared because Martina's beeper is gonna go off, and that guy in the hood might find you. And you'll also be disappointed because Martina has to go home.
You did a wonderful job explaining this problem. But wait, what's this? Look behind you, my wild bunch. Do you see our guests? I see several bunches of young wanderers, and I see a wise older Chinooka, too. They are watching us through some sort of magic screen. Welcome, my new friends. You are here just in time to think about Fizz's moon problem.
I knew it! It's my parents calling!
Now that guy is going to find us for sure. How many times do these things beep anyway?
He's looking right up at us! Quick, let's hide in these bushes.
It sounds like he's gone.
Yeah, and so is Butcher. Look, paw prints. It looks like Butcher went towards Moonlight Meadow. This is our chance to follow him. Let's hope he takes us to that gold dust.
Wow, think how happy your parents will be when we find that gold star.
Yeah, my parents will... My parents? Hold it! I'm supposed to head for home right away. I gotta go, Fizz. But we might be so close to that gold star. I think I'll look for maybe just a few more minutes.
Hey, Martina, if you leave, I'm leaving too. I don't want to be out here alone. I mean, I'm not afraid or anything. I mean, I'm just as comfortable as the next guy in a totally deserted field at night. You know what I mean? Like, as long as I keep relaxed and... You know what I mean, Martina? Martina? I found myself at the edge of a trench cut in the ground. There was gold dust everywhere, but no Martina. Then, from somewhere below, I heard...
Welcome back, my wild bunch. So, last time we met, I told you about some unusual events in Blue Falls. Who can remember what happened?
I can. A big ghost star crashed near Martina's house, but no one could find it except Butcher. I think he knows where it is.
Yes, I think you're right.
Martina was following him, but then she disappeared.
I hope she's gonna be okay.
We'll find out soon enough, my wild bunch. But first, let me tell you a little story. Thousands of years ago, a planet far off in space started spinning too fast. This was a disaster for the Chinooks who lived there. Nothing was sticking to their planet as it whirled out of control. They had no choice but to leave. Fortunately, they were clever creatures, so in metal capsules, each carrying 13 Chinooks, they were catapulted into space to search for new and safe worlds. They were so sad to say goodbye, but they hoped someday they would find each other again. After passing many a cold and heartless planet, Capsule number 1 found a beautiful blue planet surrounded by 18 silvery moons. They landed by a magnificent mountain from whose peaks spilled a powerful waterfall. The air was clean and the local animals friendly. But the Chinooks were cautious by nature, so they dug a new home deep underground. They were happy down below, but sometimes in their hearts they felt a quiet sadness. The youngest Chinooks worried would they ever see anyone from the old planet. But their chief said, "We shall find each other one day." Every week, the chief would climb to the top of the mountain and look out over the surrounding valley. Year after year, chiefs reported only beautiful blue sky and kind little animals. Until one day, a chief ran back and said, "Smoke!" First, there was just one smoky fire, then 2, then 4. Each year, there were twice as many as the year before. This smoke belonged to strange beings who were not gentle animals. The chief called them people. They built fires and odd wooden buildings and sometimes ate animals. The frightened Chinooks dug deeper and rarely came up above ground. Then one day, a chief said a message was coming from their long-lost friends from the old planet. The next day, there was a crash, and a gold star landed right on the entrance to their underground world. The Chinooks brought it inside, and then just as they were wondering how to read the gold star's message, they heard a strange sound. A person was inside their underground world. Now let's get back to Fizz. Remember where he was?
Martina? Martina? I had to let Martina's parents know what was going on. As I dashed back across the moonlight footbridge, something shiny caught my eye in the water below. Was it reflections of starlight? Or, yes, dust from the gold star. Then I saw Martina's 1-foot squinch boat. Now, I don't ever steal. I don't even like to borrow stuff. But this was a special situation. I just knew that if I followed the gold dust upriver, it would lead me to Martina. And if not, at least it would take me through town where I could get help. Good, an adult up ahead. But, oh no, that person with the hood.
Fizz!
Virginia?
Yes.
Well, why? What are you
I'll
doing?
explain later. Are you okay?
I am, but Martina's lost. She disappeared into the ground at Moonlight Meadow. We have to go back.
Then let's go. Paddling to the meadow will be 10 minutes quicker than running. Uh-oh, this squinch is pretty low in the water.
Yeah, it's only a 1-foot squinch. That means it sits 1 foot out of the water when it's empty. Anyway, should we get more help? What about those guys fishing over there?
Good idea, Fizz. I wonder why they're fishing at night. Excuse me, sir. We have a bit of an emergency. Could you please... Fizz, isn't that Trump on the dock? Could you please help us?
Hey, Minnie Moon, that kid in the squinch is the one who knows all about this gold dust. I think he already knows where it's from.
We should grab him.
Let's get out of here. Paddle with everything you've got. And maybe you better tell me why those two guys are so interested in that gold dust. How do you know about it? What's happening here?
Martina is really in trouble. Hey, they're getting closer.
They've got a motorboat. We better do something. What about that old duck canal up ahead? Isn't that a shortcut?
Yes, but the footbridge over it is very low. What does that sign say?
It says, caution, 10 inches. Can our squinch fit under a 10-inch bridge, Fizz? We've got to decide quickly.
Right. Well, even if we lie down, a squinch still sticks up 12 inches above the water.
Yes, but there are 2 of us in it. Doesn't that sink it down some?
She was right. The motorboat was gaining, and I was desperately trying to think. Then I remembered the words to the classic old children's rhyme about pairs of people in a squinch. It went, how many folks can safely float inside those 1-foot squinches? Each pair of folks inside a boat will push it down 5 inches. That rhyme was always Mom's favorite. But back to the crisis. The pair of us, Virginia and I, would push a squinch down 5 inches. Would we fit under the footbridge?
Fizz and Virginia need to figure this one out quickly. If they cannot fit under that footbridge, they're going to be in big trouble. So, my distant bunches, let's work together to help them solve this problem.
If that old rhyme was correct, this squinch will sink low enough. Okay, ready? Duck! We did it!
Good thinking, Fizz. Hey, what's this? Does this gold stuff have anything to do with Martina?
I don't want you to think I'm hiding anything, but it's too complicated to explain. For now, let's just say Martina fell into a hole covered with gold dust.
Okay, Fizz, I trust you. You're the most honest kid I've ever met.
Thanks. Hey, Virginia, do you mind if I ask you a question? Why have you been unhooking Butcher's chain at night?
I'll tell you, but you're gonna think I'm kinda nuts. I've been painting pictures of Butcher, but every time I look at my paintings, I see something odd. Butcher is never alone in my paintings. There's always another little, it's hard to explain, but...
Virginia, we're here. This is Moonlight Meadow.
Let's get out of the squinch and look around. If we split up, then...
Shh, did you hear that sound? Listen.
Well, hello, my young animal friends. Before we start, tell me, what do you remember from last time?
You told us about the Chinooks. It's sad they had to leave their old planet.
And I hope Fizz and Virginia find Martina.
Let's return to our story and find out.
Wow, that hole has got to be 10 feet deep.
Martina! Martina, are you there?
Is Fizz out there?
Yes, Martina, it's me.
Well, who is that with you, Fizz?
Martina, it's Virginia, your friend. and I'm gonna help you.
Oh, hi, Virginia. I'm fine. Really. I've got Butcher in here with me. And I found the most wonderful... Well, I can't explain now. Listen, you've got to go find my parents and bring them here. They will be so excited.
Well, if you're sure, Martina, we'll go get them. Wait a minute. Shh. It's Trump and Mr. Minimood.
Oh, gosh. You can't let them find me in here. They'll ruin everything. Please, before you get my parents, lead those two guys in a wild goose chase.
Okay, but we'll be back. Are you sure you'll be all right, Martina?
I'm fine. These are the sweetest little creatures you could ever imagine. But it would be horrible if Trump and greedy old Minimood found us, so go quickly.
Will do, Martina. An amazing wild goose chase. Virginia, what exactly is a wild goose chase?
It means we actually let those two guys follow us. We lead them all over the place, and when we're miles from here, we lose them and get Martina's parents.
We led those two guys all over Blue Falls. We led them up and down hills, across lakes, through the Blue Falls amusement park, and even through the downside. Finally, we lost them, somewhere between Shop to Bebop and the Stingers baseball stadium. Phew, those two guys sure were tough to shake. I need a minute to catch my breath, and then we can take off for Martina's parents.
Great, but there's just one problem. The next bus out of here doesn't come for 40 minutes. And then the bus will take 20 minutes to get to Martina Street. We won't be there for a whole hour.
Oh, boy. And walking will take even longer. Martina's house is 6 miles away, across town. If only... Wait, Virginia, look over there. That's Billy Whippet. He's the pitcher on the Stingers ball team, and a friend of mine. Maybe he'll give us a ride. We told Billy about needing to find Martina's parents, and he motioned for us to get into his pickup truck. Thanks a lot, Billy.
Yeah, thanks, Billy. You're not a big talker, are you, Billy? That's all right. We could use a little peace and quiet.
Here we are.
Fizz, I'm afraid Martina's not here. We don't know what's happened. We've been looking for hours.
Sir, it's all right. We know where Martina is. She's fine. Quick, come with us. As we roared back to Moonlight Meadow, Martina's parents asked dozens of questions. They wanted to know how we knew Martina was all right. Suddenly, Billy slowed the truck to a stop.
What's going on, Billy? Why are you stopping? There's nothing there but two guys on the road.
Those aren't just any two guys. It's Trump and Minimood. Let's get out of here. Good thing you noticed them, Billy. Billy backed up onto a small dirt road, cut through the woods, and ended up on Blue Falls Highway.
Wow, nice driving, Billy. Blue Falls Highway goes straight to Moonlight Meadow. The only thing that will slow us down is the toll booth. The toll is 40 cents. I hope we have enough money.
I was in such a rush I left my money at home. I just have 1 penny here in my pocket. Do you have any, dear?
Just this.
All I've got is this nickel. What about you, Billy?
Okay, well, that's 4 coins all together. A quarter, a dime, a nickel, and a penny.
Boy, I hope that's enough to pay the 40-cent toll. If we have to turn around now, Trump and Minimood will find us for sure.
Talk about a bad time for a toll booth. Well, my wild bunches, we'll have to work together, all of us, to see if we have enough change to pay that toll.
We got through the toll booth with a penny to spare, and within 5 minutes, we'd arrived at Moonlight Meadow. Martina, we're back with your parents.
Martina, are you there? It's me, honey.
Dad, Mom, I'm here. Look.
Martina?
Welcome back. This is a very important day for us because today's story is kind of an ending and maybe a beginning too for Fizz and Martina. You'll see what I mean. But first, let's try and remember what happened last time.
Fizz and Virginia got away from those mean guys, Trump and Minimood.
Then Billy Whippet helped them. He drove them to Martina's house to get her mom and dad.
Exactly. And he brought them back to Moonlight Meadow where Martina was waiting for them. Or at least they thought it was Martina.
Martina?
Dad, it's okay. Just hold on.
Here goes.
Hold on, everyone.
Whoa!
Oh, I'm so relieved you're all here. I want you to meet the Chinooks. This is the chief of the Chinooks. Don't worry, I trust them. I think Butcher is, one of them too. They need our help.
Their chief stood up at a huge flat wall and began to draw using colored stones. For an hour, she drew a detailed story as we watched without a word. We learned about spinning planets and distant friends, underground worlds, and scary people. We also learned that someone had captured one of their pets. Without a word, Virginia stood up and drew on the wall. She drew Trump. He was carrying Butcher. No, it was smaller than Butcher.
I get it. That's why Butcher returns to Trump's house every night. Trump stole Butcher's puppy.
And this must be the gold star. It is surely a message from your friends on the old planet. What do they tell you?
Oh no! I believe that these dear creatures can no longer read the words from their long-lost friends.
I don't see any message here either.
Maybe there's some other way to look at it, to see a different pattern. I see something. Try to look at it kind of upside down and backwards at the same time. It's sort of the way I see when I read.
I don't see anything. No, wait a minute. Yes, backwards, upside down. Amazing, Martina. Nice reading, dear. Yes, I see it. It forms a pattern, like our solar system.
And there, it's a lunar calendar and a map.
My dear Chinooks, incredible as it may seem, your long-lost friends are coming for you to this very mountain to take you home. They arrive tonight at midnight. You have no time to lose. It's 10 o'clock, and there's a lot to be done. Midnight is only 2 hours away. Fizz, Martina, I know it's past your bedtime, but we need to stay and help the Chinooks with their preparations.
Dad, there's something I've got to do first. I'm going to Trump's house.
And I'm going with you. Come on, Butcher. Let's get that puppy.
Martina, wait, dear. Take this radio and call me if you need any help. And Martina, I'm proud of you.
Wow, so was I. After my two friends headed back to Trump's house to find the Night World puppy, we went on preparing for the big moment.
It's Martina, everyone. Hello? Martina?
We're at Trump's house. Wait a sec, there's a cage. Look, Virginia, is it locked? Mom, Dad, there's a puppy. A little Night World puppy. Oh, he's a beautiful little dog, Fizz. Wait, everybody. There's an angry crowd of people gathering nearby. Mr. Minimoot is leading them. Listen.
There's gold in Blue Falls, gold! And someone is hiding it. I say we should
Martina,
go out.
I want you to get out of there now. Meet us at the top of Blue Falls Mountain at 10 minutes before midnight.
We all marched along towards the peak of Blue Falls Mountain. Finally, we got to the rope bridge over Shiver Canyon and crossed it one by one. Oh no! Thanks, Billy. It's Martina and Virginia. And Butcher. And wow, one seriously cute Night World puppy, too. Hurry!
Look who we found. Just in time to go zooming off with everyone else. But we've got to hurry. Minimoot's crowd isn't far behind.
At just 10 minutes before midnight, we had made it to the summit. Everyone gazed upward, hoping, searching.
Look, down below. It's Minimoot's crowd.
They're almost up to Shiver Canyon.
I wish we had pulled out that rope bridge so they couldn't get across. Well, there's nothing we can do. Unless if I could hit that stake with a 1-pound rock. Honey, do you have your portable computer with you?
Taking into account all the relevant data, I calculate that we must directly hit that stake with exactly 10 rocks to jar it loose.
Okay, here are all the rocks that are up here. There are only 17 of them.
Okay. Now, all I have to do is throw them at that very faraway stake. Well, here goes. Okay, let's try this again. Well, that's it for me. 5 tries. None of them were even close.
Mister? Maybe we should give Billy a try. Nobody throws better than Billy.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that?
Go for it, Billy.
You can do it, Billy.
Oh no, Billy's missed his first 2 throws. And Minimoot's crowd is getting closer. And they're after us, or gold, or dogs, or Chinooks. Are you sure Billy can do this?
I've seen Billy pitch, Martina. I believe in him.
Okay, Fizz, but I still have one question. My father used up 5 rocks, and Billy's used up 2. Are there even enough stones left in that pile to knock down the bridge?
Martina's mom figured out how many stones would have to hit that stake. Now we'll have to work together to see if there is still a chance of knocking down that rope bridge.
There were enough stones to knock out the stake if Billy started throwing better. He needed to be encouraged. The other team says you're a lousy pitcher, Billy. Yes, Billy, I knew you could do it.
Minimoot is angry. He's screaming. What's that sound?
Holy space vessel, this was it. Within minutes, our new friends were filing onto a walkway lowered from the ship. The last up the ramp was their chief, followed by Butcher and the puppy. Martina had to look away. I didn't know what to do for her.
Goodbye, friends.
Wait, Virginia, Martina, look.
Oh, Butcher. Hi there, my little friend.
We stood in silence. You know, all I could think of was, if Butcher trusted this silly world of ours so much, then Martina and I could trust it too.
Well, my wild bunch, it's time to do a little bit of number guessing. Are you ready? How many octopi do you think there are in this picture? There isn't going to be time to count. If you think there are more than 10 octopi, put your thumb up. If you think there are fewer than 10 octopi, put your thumb down. And if you think there are exactly 10, just make a fist. But before you make your final decision, let's look again, just for a second. Now, put up your hands, and the answer is fewer than 10 because there are only 6 octopi floating here. This is what 10 octopi would look like. Let's try another. How many seagulls do you think there are in this picture? If you think there are more than 10 seagulls, put your thumb up. If you think there are fewer than 10, put your thumb down. Or for exactly 10, just make a fist. Before your final decision, let's look again for a quick peek. Put up your hands. And the answer is more than 10 gulls because there are 14 of them. Here's what just 10 gulls would look like. Oh, let's try another. How many ladybugs do you think there are in this picture? There isn't going to be time to count. More than 10? Fewer than 10? Or exactly 10? Let's take one last look for just a second. Now, put up your hands. And the answer is exactly 10. There are 10 bugs there. Oh my, let's try another. How many dragonflies do you see? The bunny says there are 10. The fox says 15. And the bear says there are 20. Let's take one last look. If you agree with Bunny that there are 10, raise a hand now. If you agree with Fox that there are 15, raise a hand now. If you agree with Bear that there are 20 dragonflies, raise a hand now. Well, the answer is 10 dragonflies. The bunny was right. 10 of them. This is what 15 would look like. And here are what 20 dragonflies would look like. Oh, here's another. How many snails do you see? The fox wants to know. He's looking for some playmates. Here are those snails again. Make a guess quietly in your head. Pick some number. Do you have a guess? Go on, give it a try. Let's count them now and see if anyone guessed close to this number. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, there are 20 snails. Remember, we were only trying to guess close to this number. So, any number between 15 and 25 would be a very good guess. Now for our last guesstimation. How many sheep are here in the grass? The moose is counting them to fall asleep. Before you guess, let's look at all those sheep again for a nice long peek. You are probably waiting for a hint, so here it is. 10 sheep look like this. Remember, you are only trying to get close to the real number. So now, make a guess to yourselves. Okay, well, the answer is 10, 20, 30, 31, 32 sheep. Any guess close to 30 or 35 would be an excellent one. Well, my wild bunch, every time you all seem to get better at guesstimating. Good for you. Hello there, my wild bunch. Let's put on our guesstimation hats for a few moments. How many geese are in this picture? They sure don't like to get wet, do they? If you think there are more than 10 geese, put your thumb up. If you think there are fewer than 10, put your thumb down. And for a number exactly equal to 10, just make a fist. But before you make your final decision, let's look again, just for a second. Now, put up your hands. And the answer is fewer than 10 because there are only 8 geese swimming here. This is what 10 geese would look like. Oh, let's try another. How many black crows are hanging out on the telephone wire? If you think there are more than 10, put your thumb up. For fewer than 10 crows, put your thumb down. And if you think the number of crows equals exactly 10, make a fist. But let's take one last look for just a short moment. Put up your hands, and the answer is exactly 10 black crows. Let's try another. Ooh, cute little prairie dogs. But how many are there? More than 10? Fewer than 10? Or exactly 10? Before you make your final decision, let's look again for a quick peek. Put up your hands. And the answer is more than 10 doggies because there are 13 of them. Here is what just 10 would look like. Oh, let's try another. How many penguins are pretending that they can fly? Yes, all of them. But how many? The fox says there are 10 penguins. The bunny says 15. And the bear says there are 20. Let's take one last look. If you agree with Fox that there are 10, raise a hand now. If you agree with Bunny that there are 15, raise a hand now. If you agree with Bear that there are 20 penguins, raise a hand now. Well, the answer is 15 penguins. The bunny was right. 15 penguins. This is what just 10 would look like. Here is 15 penguins again, and here is what 20 would look like. Nice guessing, Bunny. And here's another. How many multicolored crustaceans do you see here? The fox wants to know. Oh, he's a curious fox. Here they are again. Make a guess quietly in your head. Pick some number. Do you have a guess? Go on and give it a try. Let's count them now and see if anyone gets close to this number. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, there are 17 of those multicolored crustaceans. Did any of you guess a number between 15 and 20? Good work. Now, for our last guesstimation, how many goldfish do you see here? The fox wants to know. He might have lunch in mind. Before you guess, let's look at all those fish again for a nice long peek. Oh, good. He just wants to feed the fish. And before you make a final guess, here's a little hint. This is what just 10 of them would look like. Remember, you are only trying to get close to the real number. So now, make a guess to yourselves. Okay, well, the answer is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51 goldfish. Okay, I'm sure some of you guessed a number close to this. Goodbye for now. Well, my friends, it looks like we have just enough time to make a few guesses. How many wonderful slimy eels do you think there are in this picture? If you think there are more than 10, put your thumb up. If you think there are fewer than 10 eels, put your thumb down. And if you think there are exactly 10, just make a fist. But before you make your final decision, let's look again, just for a second. Now, put up your hands. And the answer is fewer than 10 because there are 7 eels. Now, here is what 10 eels would look like. Good, good, good. Let's try another. How many pigs are nosing around here in the mud? More than 10? Fewer than 10? Exactly 10. Let's take one last look for just a second. Put up your hands. And the answer is more than 10 because there are 13 pink pigs. Here is what just 10 would look like. Oh my, let's try another. How many seals are on this iceberg? More than 10? Fewer than 10? Or exactly 10? Before your final decision, let's look again for a quick peek. Put up your hands. And the answer is exactly 10 seals. Let's try another. How many elephants do you think are balancing here? The bunny says there are 10. The fox says 15. And the bear says there are 20. Let's take one last look. If you agree with Bunny that there are 10, raise a hand now. If you agree with Fox that there are 15, raise a hand now. If you agree with Bear that there are 20, raise a hand now. Well, the answer is 15. The fox was right. 15 elephants. This is what 10 elephants would look like. Here is 15 elephants again. And here's what 20 would look like. Oh, that was a tough one. And here's another. How many frogs do you see here? The fox wants to know. Why would he wonder, I wonder? Here they are again. Make a guess quietly in your head. Pick some number. Do you have a guess? Go on, give it a try. Let's count them now and see if anyone guessed close to this number. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, there are 20 croaking frogs here. Remember, we were only trying to guess close to this number. So, any number between 15 and 25 would be a very good guess. Now, for one last guesstimation, how many green inchworms do you see here? The bunny wants to know. But before you make your final decision, let's look again for a nice long peek. And before you make a final guess, here's a little hint. This is what just 10 of them would look like. Remember, you are only trying to get close to the real number. So now, make a guess to yourselves. Okay? Well, the answer is 82 inchworms. Did any of you guess a number close to this? Any number between 75 and 90 would be an excellent guess. Now, watch this. Here are 10 worms, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82. 82 would be a tough number to guess exactly. Well, until next time, keep on guessing about things. Bye-bye. Welcome, my wonderful wild little bunch. Let's wonder about this. How many deer are grazing here? If you think there are more than 10, put your thumb up. If you think there are fewer than 10, put your thumb down. And for a number exactly equal to 10, just make a fist. But before you make your final decision, let's look again, just for a second. Now, put up your hands. And the answer is exactly 10. Oh, let's try another. How many alligators are swimming in this swamp? More than 10? Fewer than 10? Or exactly 10? Let's take one last look for just a second. Now, put up your hands. And the answer is fewer than 10 because there are 7 green alligators. alligators. Here is what 10 alligators would look like. Let's try another. How many lightning bugs are doing their thing here? More than 10? Fewer than 10? Or exactly 10? Before your final decision, let's look again for a quick peek. Put up your hands. And the answer is more than 10 because there are 12 bugs flying around. Here is what just 10 lit-up lightning bugs would look like. Oh, let's try another. How many blue whales do you see? The bunny says there are 10. The fox says 15. And the bear says there are 20. Let's take one last look. If you agree with Bunny that there are 10, raise a hand now. If you agree with Fox that there are 15, raise a hand now. If you agree with Bear that there are 20 whales, raise a hand now. Well, the answer is 20 whales. The bear was right. He's been waiting a long time for this moment. Here is what 15 whales would look like. Here are 20 again. 15 whales. And finally, this is what 10 would look like. Oh, here's another. How many squirrels do you see? I think the fox is looking for some buddies to play with again. Here they are again. Make a guess quietly in your head. Pick some number. Do you have a guess? Go on, give it a try. Let's count them now and see if anyone guessed close to this number. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 squirrels. So that's what 15 squirrels would look like. I'll bet some of your guesses were close to 15. Now for our last guesstimation. And it's a doozy. How many chicks do you see here? The fox wants to give them a snack. Before you guess, let's look at all those chicks again for a nice long peek. And before you make a final guess, here's a little hint. This is what just 10 chicks would look like. Remember, you are only trying to get close to the real number. So now, make a guess to yourselves. Okay? Well, the answer is 96 chicks. Did any of you guess anywhere close to 90 or 100? And now watch this. Here are 10 chicks, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96 chicks. Okay, 96 is a big number to have to guess. Well, so long, Wild Bunch. I hope you realize how much fun it is to guesstimate with you.